Hello and welcome back to Wireman's Whimsy. We are going to make this pocket front card today, and I will show you how to make the pocket, just for that little bit of, a fun kind of card. So we just pop that in like that, and there we go. So now this is the Thoughtful Journeys Designer Series paper, and I'll show you a couple of different things that I tried before I got here. The one thing that I do need is a little piece of the fresh freesia so that I can cut it up to make the greeting. I'm just going to bring my paper cutter a little bit closer to me here. So what do we need for this card? We need a fresh freesia card base, a 5 1/4 by 4 piece of Designer Series paper. In this case, again, it's the Thoughtful Journey. We need a piece of fresh freesia at 2 1/4 by 3 1/2. And then we need a piece of the Designer Series paper for the pocket. And how I determined the size of the paper I needed, it's not hugely clear on here, but the finished size of the pocket that I wanted was 2 1/2 by 3. So I added a 1/4 inch to each side, that gives me 3, and a 1/4 inch to the bottom only, which gives me 3 1/4. So the cut size for this piece of paper was 3 by 3 1/4. So it's 3 1/4 this way by 3 this way. And what that means is I could get 2 out of one of these pieces of paper. I did 3 1/4 here and then trimmed it to 3 to give me this piece here. So then we just need to make the card, we need to do the greeting and do some stamping. So let's go ahead and do that. So again, whatever you want for your finished size pocket to be, you add a 1/4 inch to each side and the bottom. And I'll show you when we get here, you actually cut the corners off so that when you fold the edges in, it's not really thick and heavy. So maybe I'll just leave that there, so if you need to do a drawing of it, you can. So I'm just going to bring in my paper trimmer here. And I've left, in the drawing, I've left a 1/4 inch edge all the way around. Those who sew will call it a seam allowance. It's a 1/4 inch seam allowance all the way around the outside. So this is cut to 3 by 3 1/4. And we're going to take a 1/4 inch and score a 1/4 inch on the side, then the bottom, and then the side again. Not the top, we don't need to do the top. We're going to do something different with the top. So if you've got a small circle punch, you can punch that out. I'm going to use one of the stitched shape dies. So what we're going to do now is we're going to fold those edges in, just like that. And then when we unfold it, we're going to cut right across that edge, right across that corner, so that when we fold the edges in, they fold in like that and it's not so bulky. So that's what these marks are here. It's cutting that corner off just at that inside measurement. And then I'm just going to really quickly run it through. If you've got a small, one of the mini paper cut and emboss, you can use that. I'm just going to roughly put that in the middle like that. Just grab a sticky note, which all seem to have escaped me at the moment. So just pop that sticky note down like that. And then we'll run it through the machine. And then we're ready to assemble it to the front of the card. So we're just going to, there we go, run that through like that. And I'll just peel that off. So we've got our half circle, and we just put to the side, and then we've got our pocket. So we are going to take our bone folder, and we're just going to kind of really give those edges a nice crisp crease. And then we're going to take tear and tape, and we're going to put it down each side, starting really close to the top, like that. And if you're tear and tape, when you peel it, you can still see some of the adhesive. It's just like an adhesive dot. You can just roll it onto itself so that you don't see it on the outside of your project. Again, we're going to come, sorry, am I not? I'm in frame, thank goodness. Okay, so we're just going to pop that down right on that edge. The tear and tape is a 1/4 inch. Your folded over edge is a 1/4 inch. So it should fit on there just perfectly. So we do that, and put that off to the side. And now we need to decide where we're going, how we're going to put it on the front. When I started this, I was going to use this piece of designer series paper. And when I put this on top, to me, it really didn't go. Like, it's really effective. It's really sharp. You can really see that pocket. But I found that it wasn't the look I was going for. I really wanted the soft and the subtle. And I liked how this kind of blended in, and you could see the kind of card piece up here. It really showed the edge of the envelope. So we're just going to flat mount this, and I'm just going to grab a different adhesive because that one's going to run out. Oh, and that one's going to run out as well. Okay, so we're going to use this one. So we're just going to, as I say, flat mount. This is the super really strong adhesive. So when I put this down, I won't be able to peel it back up again. So what we're going to do, I seem to have lost my example card. We're going to stick this down to the front. So we're just going to peel all the backing off the tear and tape. And we're just going to just double check that there's no adhesive showing because we don't want that shine on the outside. So we're just going to peel that off. And just kind of run your finger along the edge just to, if there is anything over, it just rolls it over on itself. Okay. So then we're just going to line this up, kind of equal from the bottom and the sides, making sure we're straight, and just pop that down like that. And that's given us our pocket on the front of the card. The insert, I've cut it to 2 1/4 by 3 1/2. You can see I played with different ideas, but this seemed to just go down in nicely, but not kind of overwhelm the card. And I looked at it like this and thought, it's a little harsh. So this isn't a Throwback Thursday, but I'm using a couple of retired punches here. This is the retired corner punch. And I'm just going to pop that corner round and that one round. So it's just that little bit softer. And I'm going to come in and I'm going to stamp on this piece. And on the inside, with the fresh freesia, I'm going to stamp "You Make Life Better." Stamp it down like that. And I'm going to take the leaves and I'm just going to fit them in kind of around the wording, and I'm going to pop some in at the top as well, like that. So not a lot, don't want to overwhelm the words, but we're just going to do that bit. Put that off to the side because we're finished with those. And I'm going to use another retired punch. You can use a hole punch, you can use whatever you like. I'm just going to line that up equal distant there and punch that. So we need something to hold on to pull our greeting out. And to do that, I have a piece of ribbon here somewhere. I moved everything around. So it's just a really short piece of white ribbon, and it's the white and the petal pink 2-pack that is in the catalog. So I'm going to do this like this. Just pop this in like that, just so I have something to hold on to, because I'm doing this like this, and then I'm taking a piece of Linen thread, you can use baker's twine, linen thread if you've got skinny string you can use to wrap this. And I'm just going to tie this in a knot. Squeeze it up tight, but then hold it there so that I can tie that tight and it doesn't just come apart. It's just like tying a parcel when you get somebody else to hold the knot so you can tie it really tight. There we go. And then we're going to make this a bow like this. And then you just need to adjust your tails on the bow. Give it a good squash. And that's like that. Now, the only thing we have left to do is to make the greeting itself. So I am going to bring in my cutter again, and I'm going to cut this at 1/2 inch. So there's a scale on both sides of your slicer, so I'm going to go 1/2 inch on this side, and then just use the cutter, not the scorer. I'm not going to get very far if I score it. So put that off to the side again, and we're going to take the dearest friend, and we're going to stamp this down. There we go, just like that. And then we're just going to use our scissors to trim it at the same angle as the letters go. So we're just going to do like that, and then like that. And on this one, I didn't dimensionalize it, but I think I'm going to dimensionalize it on this one. And I cut this one just a little bit longer. That's why there's a difference in the size. Everything is the same size. So I'm just going to pop a couple of dimensionals on the back of here like this. And I didn't add any bling to this one, but I am going to pull in the Tinsel Gems 4-pack into this one and just bling it up a little bit. The background definitely blends with the little pocket on the front, but I think it's subtle. I prefer that to the other one was just a little bit harsh. Okay, so let's just pop these out. And I'm going to use the pink ones. They're probably Petunia Pop. And I'm just going to put one there and one down here. And I think that's all I'm going to do, actually. You could put a couple up here, but that is essentially the card, and you can pull the little surprise greeting out. The one thing I didn't do on this one that I did on this is when I cut my paper down, I had 6-inch strips that were 1/2 inch. So I just trimmed them to 5.5 and put one on each side of the inside of the card. But because I didn't need to cut any paper on this one, I don't have those pieces, but it's certainly something that you can add. So thank you so much for watching, and let's create together again soon.